Good morning, everyone. It is so good to see some of you join to today's SEMO 101 workshop. So my name is Paliza Shrestha, and I'm the Assistant Director of International Admissions. Today's topic is going to be financial and official transcripts. And before we move on, I want to show you a list of all our SEMO 101 workshops happening from now until August 12th. All right, so today's topic is financial and official transcripts. Do tune in once every 2 weeks from now to August 12th to attend SEMO 101 workshops. I also want to remind you that our sessions are recorded. So if you want to visit any of our previous workshops or revisit today's session, you can always go to our website. Okay, so these recordings will be posted on our website for you to watch. So let's dive in to understand more about financials today. All right, so United States regulation mandates that all international students who are F1 and J1, they must show proof of financial support. So in other words, you must show that you have adequate funds to live and study in the US. So this rule is set by USCIS, which stands for United States Citizenship and Immigration Services. So USCIS, they process things like green card applications. They process employment authorization documents for international students, such as OPT, H-1B, and they oversee visas as well. Okay, so schools typically require you to show proof of funds for first year of coverage, right? So that's to cover expenses such as tuition and fees, your books, living expenses, health insurance, so on and so forth. Okay, and this is to ensure that you all can complete your studies without any financial hardship. Because there are restrictions for employment, working off campus for international students. International students are only allowed to work on campus for 20 hours a week. So it's just to ensure that you complete your studies without any financial hardship, and you're also not you're also not a financial liability on the U.S. Government. So all these financial documents, we will talk about what documents they are, but they are required for you to get admission and I-20, right? So we are legally obligated to ask you to submit your financials to grant you admission so that you can get your I-20 on time. And also, we strongly advise you that you carry these financial documents to your visa interview at the US Embassy or US Consulate, and also carry them with you when you are traveling to the US in case, a CBP officer who is Customs and Border Protection Officer asks you for these documents at the port of entry airport. All right, so take them to your visa interview and carry them with you when you are traveling to the US. Also, please, hold on to your questions. I'll be talking for another 12 minutes, and then we'll have 15 minutes for you all for me to address any of your questions. All right, so what are different types of financial documents for SEMO? So they will be proof of financial support, okay, and then affidavit of financial support form. I will go over in detail. We'll start with proof of financial support. Okay, so these are, you can submit any one or more of the following as proof of financial support. So they can be your bank statement. Okay, bank statement must be of checking or savings account. A bank statement can be the applicant. That will be the self, if you are self-sponsoring your education, or it can be bank statement of your father, mother, your family, relatives, or it can be any sponsor, which do not have to be your relative. Okay, so they can also be government sponsorship or scholarship award letter. We accept those as well. We also accept approved loan letters, which is very common from some countries like India. We see a lot of loan letters from India. We do accept them. And it can also be a graduate assistantship letter that maybe you've secured a graduate assistantship at SEMO. So we also accept that as proof of financial support. So any one or more of the following documents can be submitted. All right, so what are the requirements for financials? Let's talk about that. Financials must be dated within 1 year of intended program start date. So what that means is if you are, if your program starts August 1st of 2026, your bank statement or your financial documents should be no later than August 1st of 2025. So they have to be within 1 year for it to be valid. Also, all the documents must be in English. If they are not in English, they have to be accompanied by a certified English translation. So your funds in your statement should be immediately accessible. So the funds you are submitting, should be liquid, immediately accessible. We do not accept documents like property evaluation or tax documents, which are considered immovable assets. We also, you can have multiple sponsors, so more than one sponsor who can be responsible to support you financially. The funds must also be equal to or exceed the estimated cost of attendance, which we will go into detail in the next slide. But for roughly, that is around 32,000 for undergrad. It's around 23,765 for graduate. And for intensive English program applicants, that's around 26,613. So the funds that you show must equal or exceed these amounts. Okay, so your statement must also include account holder's name. So if it's a bank statement, you must have your account holder's name, the bank name. There should be a bank logo and a bank stamp. Also the date and currency and the balance in your account, right? So your bank statement must have all these. If it's a scholarship or government sponsor letter, they should also have things like, the date, amount available, and some kind of signature or stamp on the document. So your statements must be accompanied by affidavit of financial support form. Okay, we'll talk about the affidavit soon. So here is a cost, here's a table showing estimated cost of attendance for the upcoming year. And the last row showing you the total for undergrad, so bachelor's and pathway, right? And then here is the total for your graduate. And if you are curious, here are the breakdown contributing to the total. And all these are estimated cost. For instance, they may vary on your, housing situation and your lifestyle. So tuition, books, housing, meals, your personal expense, and health insurance. So all these breakdown contribute to the total. I think I'm going to leave it at that for this slide. Okay, now let's talk about affidavit of financial support. And basically, what affidavit means is that it's a document that an individual, or let's say in this case, your sponsor, they signed to accept financial responsibility for the applicant to live and study in the US, right? So here is the form that we have students upload to your application portal. So this is the form that should be accompanied by your bank statement or award letter. So let's break down the form. If you look at the top, the student will have to fill out their name, their email address, and date of birth. Okay, and you have to indicate source of support. So is it a self? Is the applicant the one sponsoring themselves? Is the bank statement in the applicant's name? In that case, that'll be self. and whether it's a family, or indicate if it's a government agency or other, right? If you are the one sponsoring yourself, so if you, in other words, self-sponsor, you may choose to leave the sponsor information blank. Okay, but if not, then the sponsor must fill out this section. So they'll have to write their name, email address, relationship to the student. Also, the third section is to do with whether you need an acceptance letter to secure funding from your government or sponsoring agency. If you do need acceptance letter first, which means like if you do need admission first before you can secure your funding, please indicate yes in this box. So put a check mark next to yes. If not, then please put no. And if you come to the bottom of the form, you will have to put the amount in US dollars. So the amount that is available, right, for the education. So here you put the amount and indicate whether you have attached a bank statement to verify your capability to provide this amount. So say yes, and then you must sign and date the form. Okay, so this is just an example for you to review. If you are in the middle of filling out your application. Okay, so moving on. So common mistakes to avoid to prevent admission delay regarding your financials would be, we don't want students to be submitting outdated bank statements. So either any one of these can delay your admission process. So please submit bank statements that are, again, within 1 year of the program start date, right? Also make sure the funds are sufficient. If you show funds below below the estimated cost, then we will just reach out to the applicant and ask you to upload a new statement. Also submit liquid, don't submit assets that are non-liquid, like property, tax documents. Also, please be uploading clear documents. If we cannot read your documents, then that will delay your admission. Also, please submit complete documents. So make sure your bank statements have date, amount, bank logo, signature, and also make sure your affidavit is complete for that matter. So signature, date, amount, sponsor information, all the fields must be filled. Also, if we think you have submitted a suspicious bank statement, if we see any red flags, we will not accept those, falsified documents. So in that case, we will have the applicant contact their bank, and we'll ask the bank to submit the bank statement to us directly. Okay. All right, so that was the end of official transcripts, which I think went by pretty quickly. Happy to take questions at the end of the talk. All right, so next up, we will move into official transcripts. All right, so let's first define what is an official transcript. Let's first define that. Okay, so there are two kinds of official transcripts. One can be a physical copy, and the other can be electronic official transcripts. Okay, so let's talk about the physical. So official transcripts can be original, or it can be photocopies of the original. They have to be stamped and signed by a school official, or Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Education, or other government authority, depending on your country, right? These original or photocopies that are signed by these entities, they must also be put in a sealed envelope. And the envelope must have the institution's stamp on the outside flap. Okay. The physical official transcripts can either be mailed by the applicant or the issuing body directly to SEMO, or the applicant, the student may also bring the copy with them when you come to campus. So you may bring the originals or photocopies, that are signed and sealed in a sealed envelope. You may bring them with you to SEMO, or you may also courier them before you arrive on campus. Okay, so that's the physical official transcripts. The copies that you upload to your application portal at the time of admission, those are not considered official transcripts. Those are considered unofficial. Okay, so the second type of official transcript is electronic. And I believe this is also a fastest way to send your official transcripts to us. So they come in an email format. They are sent directly from your school's registrar or controller of exams or something equivalent. So they must be emailed from these entities to our international inbox, which is international@semo.edu. Okay, so transcripts sent by professors or staff, they will not be considered official. So they have to come from the school's registrar or something equivalent. The email must also be from a verified university email with a .edu or .org domain. Okay, so they cannot be sent through personal accounts like Gmail or Yahoo. Okay, moving on. Your official transcripts must also show a major, so the degree program, your major, they must show program start date. Your transcripts must also have course titles, so individual courses, not just course numbers. Okay, so there you should also, the transcript must also have the course description. And then individual course grades. Also, there should be duration in semesters or years, and they must also show overall GPA and graduation date. So these are some of the things we look at in your official and also your unofficial transcripts. All your transcripts must be in English. So if they are not in English, similar to the bank statement, you must also submit the original, you must also submit a certified English translation in addition to the original transcripts. Okay. And the above, again, the above, both of these also apply to your unofficial transcripts. Okay, moving on. Who needs to submit official transcripts? Let's talk about that, okay? So who, what, and when. We need official transcripts from all students except visiting students and IEP only students. Those are the only exceptions, from whom we do not need official transcripts. So if you are an undergrad student, including pathway or conditional, you must submit your official high school transcripts. All right, so we need your high school transcripts if you are an undergraduate applicant. You submit your official transcripts once you've received your visa. Okay, so let's talk about undergraduate transfer. For undergraduate transfer, we require official transcripts before admission because remember that we do have to do your credit transfer evaluation, right? So to do that, we only do that on officials. So undergraduate students must submit your high school transcript. But if you have, high school transcripts, um, as well as if you all your college transcripts, right? So all your post-secondary transcripts, you must submit from all the colleges you have attended as a transfer student, including if you have less than 24 transferable college credits. In that case, we also ask you to submit your high school transcript. If anything is unclear, during application, you can reach out to us, but we will also email the students, for the documents that we require from you. All right. So the only difference between undergrad, like the regular undergrad and transfer is that for transfer, we do require official transcripts before admission. So what about graduate applications? For graduate applicant, they must submit post-secondary transcripts. They must submit transcripts of all their education history after post-secondary. So, it would be if you have a bachelor's and a master's degree, you need to submit transcripts for both degrees. If you have a bachelor's, master's, PhD, and you're coming for a master's at SEMO, you still have to submit your bachelor's, master's, PhD transcripts. Okay, so you must disclose all of your educational history on your application. And for graduates, similar to undergrad, you submit after your visa. It's okay to submit officials before you have been granted your visa. The admissions team will only review officials once the visa has been granted. So again, as a reminder, transfer students are the only students where we require official transcripts before admission. Also, here is a neat link. If you, let me just click. Can you all see this page? Can you raise your hands if you can see this page? Okay. So if you are not sure, like what kind of transcripts we accept from for various applications, here is a list broken down, all the different types of degrees we accept, for countries from A to Z. So if you, let's click on like Ghana, for instance, right? So here are the different types of qualifications, I should say, that we accept. Right? So for undergrad, we normally look at, your SSCE or your WASI, your WIAC examination. For India, for instance, if we go to India, grad, these are the different types of qualifications we accept. Bachelor's, 4-year degree, bachelor's, 3-year degree with a lateral entry, so on and so forth. All right. So let me just go. Oh, sorry, I need to go back to my screen. I think all right. And I think I finished a little ahead of time. So let me just go back to the estimated cost of attendance, this page. So this table can be found on our website, on our international page. Okay, so here are the cost breakdowns for undergrad. Okay, and here are the cost breakdown for grad. And our tuition for undergrad is around 17,000, little over 17,000, and the tuition for graduate is little over 13,000. For undergrad, it's estimated 30 hours for 30 credit hours per year, and for grad, it's estimated at 18 credit hours per year. Okay, so the tuition is, thing that will stay constant. And also health insurance will be something that's constant for the students. The other expenses may depend on your lifestyle and your housing situation, like I said earlier. So there is a mandatory, all international students must purchase mandatory health insurance. All right, so that amounts to 1,500 per year. And if you have any questions on this chart, I will address, I think. Okay. And yeah, so I think let's wrap up this talk and let me know if you have any questions on today's topic to do with official transcripts and financials. I will be happy to take your questions. So those of you have tuned in, I see a bunch of students on this workshop. Do you have any questions for me on today's talk? Anything on financials, official transcripts, and even if you have any questions on your application progress, I'm happy to take questions regarding your application status. Yes, Tashad. You can also feel free to drop your questions in the chat. Tashad, do you want to speak up? Do you want to just write your question or voice it
Yes,
out loud?
yes, madam. I hope you are doing well, and thank you so much for hosting such a wonderful session for us. I
Thank
have
you.
a question regarding my application. I submitted my application on 20th February 2026,
Okay.
and it got into the review on 23rd of Feb. And after my application got into the review part, I also asked my university here in Pakistan to submit my transcript and degree via email. So the controller of examination of my
Mhm.
bachelor's degree sent my transcripts and bachelor's degree to SEMO international email, which was mentioned on the university's website.
Yes.
So I wanted to ask that is this enough for me? The I have did the submission of official transcripts correctly. Also, my processing status is still under review. How much time it would take more so to get a decision on my admission? That's I wanted
Okay.
to ask.
Yes, thank you. Have we reviewed your financials, passports, test scores?
Yes, madam. All other
Okay.
parts are green ticked on the website on my portal.
Okay. What program did you apply for?
Madam, I applied for masters in data science.
Okay. Right after this talk, I think your application is under departmental review. Okay, so right after my talk, I will reach out to the program coordinator and we'll give you we'll give you update on your application status. Okay,
Oh, okay,
I
that
have
sounds
taken
perfect.
down your name, Tashad. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am.
So yeah, please expect to hear from me shortly. Okay,
Okay,
by end
thanks.
of the day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I also appreciate everyone being here today. And I also want to wish you good luck on your application, admission, and visa interview. If you have any pending visa interview, really wish all of you success in that.
That sounds great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tashod. I'll get back to you very shortly.
Sure, sure. Thank you for having such a wonderful session for us.
Thank you. Anybody else? Anything on financials, cost, or just anything that I can help you with? We're happy to help. Also, I want to introduce Samantha Gates, who I should have done that before, but she's our admissions coordinator, and she's the one who, works very hard to make your I-20s. She also responds to emails. She handles our inbox. So we have a really good team to help guide you through your entire application process. So hi, Sam. Yes. I also see Letitia Nyarko. I'm so glad you're here. We've been in touch for weeks through email. Letitia, just want to say hi to you. And Esther Nyarko, I think you all are sisters, right? If I'm not mistaken. Well, really good to see you guys because I've communicated you via email for the past month, I feel. And congrats on your admission, Letitia. So, if you all do not have any questions, it's close to 8:30. It's close to 8:30, so we may start to wrap up this session. I think it went by so fast, and I think I spoke longer than 15 minutes actually. Um, But again, thank you so much for being here today. Before I go, I don't know if you can still see my screen. I hope you can see all the list, all the upcoming SEMO 101 workshops. All right, so the next one is on activities and campus organization on April 15. And these seminars will be taking place every 2 weeks until August 12. So please try to attend these sessions because you get to know our campus more even before you arrive here. And it can also help with your visa interview. You can mention in your visa interview that you have spoken to SEMO staff, admissions office, so that may also help you. And also, these sessions are recorded and posted on our website for you to watch. All right. So if you don't have, also feel free to email us at international@semo.edu with any questions. We are always happy to hear from you and help you through this entire journey. Um, you know, and all the best to everyone for your visa interviews if they are pending. And just, yeah, best of luck for your preparation. And we really hope to see some of you all on campus. We're very excited.
Lisa,
All right. Yes, Sam.
I just saw in the chat we have a question from Bright, and then Tashad also might have a question as well.
Okay, so graduate program additional requirements. Okay, so portal is showing graduate program addition requirements. Yes, so those are prereqs. If you have been admitted and the department you have certain prerequisite courses you must take. Um, we will put in the checklist item grad program additional requirements. Okay, so it doesn't mean you have to submit anything. It just indicates to the admissions team that this student has prerequisites that they must complete in their first semester. Okay, so that's what it means. Past due bill is normally for students who are enrolled, Bright. Don't know. Let me just write your name and I will follow up. We can follow up on what that past due bill is on your account because I don't think any fees are due for international students for fall. Sam, can you pull up BR?
I'm looking at his application right now, and I'm not exactly sure what happened. It looks
Yeah.
like Bright, you were admitted for fall 2025, so maybe something had happened there, but we do have a conversation going with our domestic admissions office about this. So I think we just need to
Okay.
follow up and see what's going on with that.
All right. So we will follow up with you, Bright, on the past due bill.
Then Tashad, you had your hand up earlier. Did you have a question?
No, that was all I wanted to ask.
Oh,
No. Okay.
okay.
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you all, and really appreciate you all being here. It really goes to show how serious you are, how committed you are towards SEMO, and we are also committed to help you throughout your journey. Okay, everyone, if no questions, I will be signing off. Sam and I will be signing off, and you may hear from either Sam and I, all right, on questions today. Okay. All right. Bye, everyone. Have a great
All
night.
right.
Bye.